Boom shakalaka, the last time Bitcoin did this, we had an absolute price explosion. We're going to be taking a look at exactly why in today's video, and also some of the most developed projects according to GitHub. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from CryptoLove. Today's video, we're taking a look at something that last time Bitcoin did this, we had a price explosion that rocked the market. And we're going to be taking a look at some of the reasons behind it, plus some of the most overdeveloped and underrated altcoins out there, according to GitHub. But before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at the CryptoLove. And let's get into it. Well, if we take a look at this Bitcoin chart, and this is just zoomed in. I mean, you could zoom out and see the whole darn Bitcoin chart, but we're just looking at the past few years. You see, Bitcoin's been trading somewhat sideways here, and we can see this since basically December of 2020. We got into this territory pretty much from $30,000 to $70,000, $50,000 plus or minus $20,000. Okay, Bitcoin has been trading sideways in that territory this whole time, right around that line right there. Similarly to what it did back here, where it was roughly 9,000 plus or minus 4,000. It was trading in this territory for about a year and change. This was from April of 2019 all the way until November of 2020, like a year and a half. Well, if we were to extend that, Bitcoin would be from December of 2020 all the way out to potentially July of 2022. We might be bouncing back and forth before Bitcoin takes a big bounce and heads north, because if we take a look at things right here, we could see that we are approaching, we don't want to draw, we're approaching the bottom of this trend line. As a matter of fact, by July, by that point there, which is as long as this sideways movement right here, by that point, guess what? We're going to be pretty much on the bottom of this logarithmic trend line that Bitcoin has been in. Now, that being said, it would be more likely where Bitcoin would bounce upwards than actually downwards and out of it. Not only that, but also with these bullish trends, 2/3 of the time the price breaks out up north. Now, what exactly is causing this? I think there is a very, very good reason for the price kind of trading sideways and not having much of a blow off top yet. The first thing could be that we're just not repeating previous patterns. That clearly could be it. But I think there's something more. Something more. Well, what we see here is that retail continues to stack stronger than ever for this year. Meanwhile, institutions and whales bought August through September and sold down November through December, and now swinging towards the buy zone in January 2022. So you can see that these institutions and whales, they're actually trading the market more. Retail investors are just buying and hodling. That's what I like to do, just buy, hodl, whatever. But these guys, the big guys, the institutions, I would say the hedge funds, they're going to get in there. They're going to start trading it a lot more, because here's the thing. While the price probably is going to continue going up over the long term, well, they can buy down here, sell up here, buy down here, sell up here, and maximize their gains, because oftentimes they are experienced traders, not the noob traders. But, you know, others do have the retail hodler strategy, like MicroStrategy. Their Bitcoin holdings, you can see his stacking of sats visualized. As the price goes up and down and up and down, guess what? He just buys some more, 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 buys some more. Just keeps on buying. And that is a great strategy when you consider the other things that are going on in the larger ecosystem. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at Bitcoin held as publicly accessible shares, we can see there is a drop in spot ETFs and in grayscale as the price has kind of gone sideways. But in the same time, the corporate treasuries have increased. Not only MicroStrategy, but also other corporate treasuries have increased. Now, this is very interesting, because this is saying that companies are seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole. Whenever I say Bitcoin, you can always substitute cryptocurrencies, good cryptocurrency projects, as a whole, as a worthwhile investment, better than holding cash or gold or real estate or other assets. They're accumulating Bitcoin, whereas the retail investors aren't really looking for these ETFs or grayscale. I guess people are finding it easy enough to buy it elsewhere. Which brings us to this really interesting chart here. He says, Willy Woo says, on wealth inequality, given enough time, it's the trend that's important. We can see Bitcoin is headed in the right direction, from the whales decreasing, but publicly held and retail traders increasing. That would mean more money amongst more people. Now, if we take a look at this in comparison to fiat, we can see that ever since the 1980s, roughly, well, the bottom 90% has been decreasing the amount of net worth, whereas the top 0.1% has been increasing. Pretty much around 1980 that happened. So that is pretty scary for fiat, and I think that's the reason we see a lot of people going towards Bitcoin. I think in this chart is the one I was looking for, where guess what? Retail's buying, publicly held is buying, whales decreasing. Which brings us to an article I saw today that Cardano has become the most developed crypto project on GitHub in 2021, according to Santiment. It's been a little over 3 months since the Alonzo fork, but the blockchain is already gaining significant traction among developers. Could this be a buy opportunity for Cardano? The price is definitely down quite a bit. The sentiment is definitely down quite a bit, but they've been continuing to develop, and now the projects are starting to come out. We mentioned Ardana the other day, and a lot of other projects coming out on Cardano. Now, if we take a look at what is referenced in this article, they referenced this graph here from CryptoRank, the most developed cryptos on GitHub in 2021. We have Cardano in the lead, but just barely ahead of Kusama and Polkadot. Surprisingly, way ahead of Ethereum, Gnosis, Solana, Status, IOTA, Flow, Cosmos, Elrond, Chainlink, DeFi Chain, Hedera, and Near. Now, they're also the leaders among the DeFi projects right down here in this little box. We have DeFi Chain, MDEX, Sci-Fi Chain, UMA, Pancake, Synthetics Maker, Liquidity USD, Liquidity, and Balancer. Now, that being said, this is one opinion because this is from CryptoRank.io. Now, there's also another website that I have known about for years called Crypto Miso, which takes a look at projects and their GitHub commit history based on their most popular repos. Only 184 cryptocurrencies. So maybe it's because this isn't looking at all of the cryptocurrencies. But if we take a look at the top 10 here, behind my head, we have Fei Protocol, we have Near Protocol, we have Chainlink, Solana, Trust Wallet Token, Boson Protocol, Gruselcoin, Bitcoin, Mask Network, and CardStack. Now, granted, they may look at these repositories differently. They may be looking at different repositories. They may not be tracking all of the same cryptocurrencies. That's possible. But what do I get from this? Well, I get a lot of projects that are doing a lot of work. They're not just smoke and mirrors, they're actually accomplishing stuff. Now take this, match this with some of the top rated projects on a platform like Token Metrics. Okay? If you look here, they use a TM grade to tell you how a project is doing, the development is happening. Well, they don't tell you the development, but they look at a bunch of other indicators to tell you how well the project is doing based on a single number. So if we take a look at some of the other higher ranking ones, things like Near. I did a video about that the other day. You could actually check out that video right up there. Near is potentially a very undervalued project, but they do a garbage job of promoting themselves. Other things that are pretty high up there, things like DeFi Chain, or, I don't know, come quite down a ways, Solana, Chainlink, but you can start doing some research using GitHub commits because these are people actually building the projects, and we want the projects built because eventually it has to deliver. So guys, that is all for today's episode. Very interesting times for Bitcoin. I would think that we will see a breakout coming sometime, but my personal feeling is that it's going to be a lot later than what everyone is expecting. Everybody expected, it to happen in 2021 around September. Then everybody expected Q4 of 2021. Now everybody's expecting Q1 of 2022. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot later than anyone expects. So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.